Hello, I'm the Pixel Priest, and this morning we're looking at the fourth chapter of the book, The Things He Carried by Stephen Cottrell. Jesus carried his followers' disappointments. You see, they thought he was going to be a different sort of king. There at the cross were some of the women, including his mother Mary and his disciple John. His other disciples had gone away, even Peter. Peter had seen who Jesus was and still got it wrong. The truth that God was in Jesus and he was the purposes of God was so difficult for them to understand. They only went so far. They followed him when he was rebuking the religious leaders, when he healed the sick. They followed him when they believed he was the Messiah, but then they found out who the Messiah really is and they fled. Like a sudden change in the weather, they were gone. And Peter, who had promised that if everyone else deserted, he would stand firm, had gone. He denied he'd ever known him. And Jesus knew the betrayal. He knew what people would do, that Judas would betray him. The disciples were embarrassed and they felt in danger by him, so they'd left. Turned their back on the light to nurse their disappointment that Jesus was not the Messiah they'd expected. And for Jesus, it was a terrible thing to carry. The terrible possibility that it was all in vain, that they would never truly recognise him. And he cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And the crowd think he's calling for Elijah. Let's see if Elijah will get him down. He carries with him the knowledge that even in this moment of desperation, he is misunderstood. We just don't get it. That's our reflection for today. But there are some suggestions for our own reflection at home. One is to hold a sealed envelope, which you imagine contains the result of a really important job interview or exam. Imagine how it feels not to know the contents of what you hold. And the other is to read Mark chapter 9, verses 30 to 37 and ponder a couple of questions. How does it feel to be let down? And what does it mean to say Jesus was human like us? See you tomorrow.